Zyridius.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another tour video with Zyridius. How's it going, man?
How we doing? Not bad.
Not doing too bad. So today I'm doing my pirate ship, which is the Queen Anne's Revenge from the Pirates of the Caribbean. We're gonna be touring the interior. It's taking me it's taking me ages to do the interior. So let's go and have a little wander.
Right.
I'll give you a bit of a tour of the whole ship.
I've been pretty excited about this, man. Like, I love pirate ships.
Yeah, I know you do. You're saying as well. So this is so far my best one, without a doubt. I spent so long. I rebuilt it a couple times as well. So the scale, I was going for 1-to-1, and then it just didn't really work.
Yeah.
Mostly to do with the crazy looking back on the ship. So I actually, this is a bit weird. So usually you build from, trying to get the scale right. This one, I wanted a walk around, and so I actually let the scale of the balcony, or being able to walk around, set the scale of the rest of the build, which was really weird. Like, really, really weird. But it's so iconic, that back piece of it being so elongated and stretched out, and especially in the movie, I had to kind of base everything off of that. So I think it's like 1.2 scale, possibly something like that. Anyway, oh yeah, it has got a sign at the end as well. Yeah, I did end up shoving that in. Yeah. But yeah, by far my favorite bit is the back of the ship, just because it's nice and detailed. Also with the curve as well. That was actually quite a lot of fun to try and get that to work with the stairs and slabs and all that kind of jazz building up on there, for sure, as well as all the different materials as well. So I pretty much used every wood in this except for acacia, because who uses acacia?
Exactly. But dude, This is, I love it.
It's good, isn't it? I like it.
I love it. I've got to take a picture of this in the night as well.
Oh yeah, you can do. So in terms of what's changed from, because I did initially tutorial this, and I'll make sure to link it in the description of my vid. One of the things that you can't do is you used to be able to put fire on top of hoppers, and then they removed that. But luckily we got the campfires anyway, so it's one of the key differences between the kind of like tutorial is that, because then at least you get the smoke. As well as like a load of other little bits, like we've got the bell now, so I was like, oh, actually let's add in the bell, because then that makes a lot more sense.
Little bits of added detail.
Yeah, little bits of added detail, and it was like things that weren't here before, which kind of adds a lot. So we're currently on the forecastle, or forecastle, which is the kind of top battle decky type thing. There's quite a few of these actually, where you've got these kind of like cargo trap things. I can't remember what these are called at all. Looked up like every term except for this. Cargo things. Things to get stuff down.
Yeah, cargo lid.
Cargo lid, yeah, exactly. So there is a lot of stuff on deck. I tried to make it quite messy, so we've got everything from the cannons themselves have got the little wheels on for the player heads. There's also cannonballs around. I wanted that typical kind of pirate feel of the water buckets, so I found a nice water bucket player head, because I was just like, it's got to happen, isn't it?
Oh,
Think about all the movies, they're always like cleaning the deck no matter what.
Yeah, wash the decks, Schwab.
Wash the decks. Yeah. Also got the little boat that's kind of like lifeboat thing they would also use to go ashore. They usually had quite a few of these actually. It's just that because of Minecraft being Minecraft, I only could really fit in one bigger one out of all of it. And that covers up on top of, or is on top of, the main cargo-y thing. So they'd actually set up, like crane wise, set them up from the rigging. So all the ropes that are going across, they'd actually tie it all to the masts, be able to basically use them as cranes. And you think about it, actually the sails and the masts and all that kind of stuff is pretty good size for all of that. There is a couple crow's nests around as well. They're not, the only problem is you can't get up to them by ladder. I was tempted, so I don't know where I think I've lost you now. Oh, there you are. So I was tempted, yeah. So with this, I did put the hole in. So I was thinking, well, I needed to have the rope going from mast to mast, and I was like, well, I'll just put a hole in there, and because if I put a ladder in, it could, can't go all the way down. So I was just like, well, that'll do. But there is a couple of those around. I can't remember where the highest one is, and yeah, you could technically stand on the top of these. I wouldn't want to personally get onto the top of any of these. these masts. I mean, it'd be crazy.
It's pretty high, isn't it?
It is pretty high, yeah. I know. You don't really realise it until you go up. So yeah, we got those. So yeah, it's a little bit different with that side of it. So if we should we go up to the should we start with the captain's cabin, because actually down in the hold where the treasure room is, it might be different, or we can go right up to the top deck. I mean, with this one, it's a bit crazy. Usually, you'd probably only have this, one set of stairs going up to like this level, but this one goes up even more, and then again has this extra bit at the back, which I have no idea what you do here, but I guess it's quite a good place if you gather the crew up and you talk to them. Gar, we're gonna take over everything.
The staff meeting in the morning.
Yeah, staff meeting in the morning. Yes. All right then. So as you know, Gary has been made manager, and should be something like that, couldn't it? Assistant manager. He's going to be working very closely with myself and Zyridius to really provide a excellent service. So you can imagine them being like hilarious.
We're going to pillage. We're going to
pillage.
mead.
Yeah, we are obviously going to be drinking rum. That's going to be on Tuesdays, and just imagine what it's like. Oh, it's crazy. So this is a bit shoved in. Obviously got the wheel, which wasn't always at the top. So this is where it's a bit different. This was me using it from the movie rather than from historic stuff, and we've actually got the kind of a table behind it, the desk behind it for putting your maps down, and all your different instruments like your sextant and all that kind of stuff would be on the back of this. So I was trying to shove it all in. Usually the wheel, and when I was on the HMS Victory recently, I say recently, obviously we're in COVID-19 area, where you can't even leave, but this was months and months ago. Just to make it clear, I'm not breaking quarantine. The wheel was actually underneath here. It was all the way down here.
Was it really?
So, yeah, I know. So you'd think, oh no, surely it's going to be like up on this upper deck. No, it's not at all. So
how would they see though if it was down the bottom?
Well, I'm guessing they couldn't really see even up there, could they? Because you go up here and you try and navigate through these sails.
Oh, I know what it is.
You've got to have spotters, haven't you?
Gary would be hanging off the edge and said, "Yeah, a bit to the left, a bit to the right."
Yeah, bit to the right. Yep.
just squeeze it in right there. There we go.
Exactly. So, yeah, a little bit different, but yeah, all kind of works. I mean, the other thing I saw on the Victory that was really cool, which you can't really do in Minecraft, is that the cannonballs, especially on the kind of deck down here, they actually had them against the side, so they would have actually had them here on these little shelves. Oops, trying to break anything. Is that? Yeah, that's right. So yeah, they would have actually had them on little shelves here. Well, I was tempted to do it, but then it just looks really blocky and kind of doesn't quite work as well. Yeah. So anyway, shall we go on to the?
You've done it, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's just more of I went with a collection, but it was like little shelves. Imagine little shelves with just little cannonballs on them. It's really interesting.
Very good.
Because the lighter guns were on the upper deck. Because of course you don't want to have your big heavy guns on the top. Well, they'd sometimes have a bombard at the front, which is like basically a gigantic artillery piece. So that was a bit crazy. Right, let's go to the captain's cabin. Oh yeah, also the parrot as well. I had to do it.
Oh yeah.
Trap it in with some barrier blocks. Never let it escape. A bit harsh, but right, so let's go into the main cabin. So this, I wanted to make it feel quite cramped. So we've got like different rooms, well, quite a lot of different rooms. Things like the Navigator. I wanted to do these like really, really small cabins because when I was on the Victory, there were these tiny little cabins for the officers, but I guess it was better than just being in the main hold. So we've got the Navigator who's got a bit of a map in there. He's obviously got the what the hell's this block called? Cartography table. That's the one. And just some bits of bobs from there. We've also got the Bosun. So the Bosun was kind of like the carpenter of the ship. So we'd have to do all the checks on the actual ship itself and do repairs. So especially down below, they would have this kind of like resin stuff they would stick onto it, onto the hull, so that when they've ever got a leak, they'll be able to plug that. Quartermaster, I really couldn't think of much for the Quartermaster, so I just went with a very simple desk. But the Quartermaster was a pretty powerful person because he had all the coin. He would do all the dishing out of all of that kind of stuff. You know, paying the men was pretty important. If you mess that up, you're pretty much dead.
Yeah.
So you know, he's a pretty important bloke. Got the surgeon. Of course, I had to have a little bit of blood around here. And we have got some better areas as well. Down below, we've actually got a little ward set up for the surgeon. But, you know, simple little area where he's got his own table where he can operate on people. I don't know why he would do that in his quarters, but, you know, whatever.
I love it.
And then we've got the captain's cabin. So this is where it gets really cramped. I tried to do this to make it look as much like the movie as I could, but I couldn't get that darkness it had. It was really dark, like really, really dark in the movies. I think it was probably at night that happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got his main, you know, Blackbeard's main desk where he sits. He's got a nice tankard of ale because who doesn't want ale? And he's got some like, you know, small treasure chest as well, and he's got an actual bed as well, which is right next to you. There you go. Nice tucked away. This little cot.
I love it. Got a good view as well.
He has got a good view. I mean, he's got, you know, this. It would actually be pretty cool, I reckon, because you've got the kind of side windowy bits. These didn't really exist, but I was just like, I can't not put these little trapdoory bits in there to let some air in. Yeah, I quite like it. It's a nice, simple little cabin. There's actually a lot more space down below, and I've just tried to pack it with detail because it's on such an angle.
Yeah.
It makes everything so much more difficult for these kind of interiors. But that is how they actually were. Again, the Victory was like crazy. It was so angled. It was, you know, it was just nuts. But really cool. So there you go. That's the main officers and the captain's kind of cabin. So let's go into the one that's below it. So this is where I've kind of deviated from. I have deviated a little bit from the Pirates of the Caribbean thing. Partly, and also what would be in real kind of life. Usually they'd have again cabins on the sides, but this was just too steeply angled. I did try to do it. It just ended up looking really weird. So I ended up doing like this little sit-downy area where they can, you know, drink and play cards and all that kind of stuff. And just hanging up, we've actually got the idea with this being hammocks.
Hammocks.
Yeah, so I was trying to figure out how to do it where they're not actually, you know, up currently, but they are just hanging, and that kind of worked for me. Right, so if we go into either or any of these sides, really, I guess this one's the least interesting side.
How long did it take you to build this, did you say?
Oh, the actual ship itself was, God knows, that was like weeks, maybe a month, because I just kept on building it and rebuilding it. I've got bits of it on a time lapse. Actually, I've got the whole thing time lapsed.
Yeah.
But that was after I had kind of figured out the scale side of it. So I'll admit, I cheated a little bit on the time lapse where I'd already built bits of it and then I was redoing it. But then I just had to freeball most of the rest of it. But I had the kind of like scale back part of it done, so that set everything else. But the interior has probably taken me like 16 hours or so. It's taken ages because trying to work it and rework it. So yeah, these are just some basic rooms we've got, and we've also got the like a nice outside area which is angled. And yeah, you have to close the door. It's a little bit annoying, but you know. So this nice kind of balcony type area as well, which is under a nice canopy.
Just
like just walk the plank.
Just drop one off the edge.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, that's where you go. I'm not joking. The HMS Victory had that on either side of the enclosed part of it. Had toilet on either side of the ship.
Did they really?
Would just hang over. Yeah, it really did for the officers, so they could actually go in, and it was like little toilets. So you'd be surprised they would actually do that. Just drop one off, you know. Literally, I guess. So yeah. Oh yeah. Oh god. You can see this room was just awkward as hell. It's just too angled. Or the floor was too angled. So we've got a similar kind of thing on the other side. So we've got two rooms. One in the middle this time. Which has got again nice red window, so that goes all the way down. And we've got another very similar to the other side, is just another bedroom. It's like, well, might as well just build a couple of bedrooms. I can't remember what Blackbeard's daughter's called, but you know, she had one of them on this side, so her cabin was on this back piece. And of course, they've again got another way out. Oh, that door's a lot better situated actually. Maybe I need to flip the other door.
Right, have a little
things.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, actually, it just opens normally. I don't know why I didn't do that. But you know, it's nice little areas here. So again, you can drop one off if you want, if you need to. So yeah, but it's quite cool. Right,
Loving it.
let's keep going on the tour. So if we get back, I don't know why we had to go through the interior. Could have just flown out, but let's now go to the front of the ship, I think, because we can work our way backwards from there. Or should we go the back and then work our? No, I know. Actually, yeah. Let's start from here. So we've got the two ways into the ship, which has just got planked up at the minute. So we'll start with the back of the ship.
Okay, so you've actually trapdoored. Ah, very good. I like it.
I know. I thought about it. I was like, I got to do that. So we'll move our way backwards. So they have quite a lot of livestock on the ship, like chickens. So we've got some chickens in a nice little cage there. We have the galley in here. So you know, trying to use trapdoors. Oh, yeah. That's brilliant. So we've got the galley. You know, got things like flour. They got the cabbage and all this kind of stuff in here. And again, that does lead to the kind of outside. It's just by the mast that was upstairs. So at least they can, you know, let the smoke out. We've got lots of tables around. So these tables would actually fold up. So this is the interesting thing. So these tables between each of the guns. This is all taken from the HMS Victory pictures that I've got. But the bit of fence that I've got here, this was actually like rope, and it would actually fold the entire table up. So you can actually just kind of in battle times you just fold it and that's it.
Oh, wow.
They would also have the hammocks between the guns. So above the tables, they would actually then have their hammocks going across.
So pretty much like sleep at your post sort of thing.
It is, yeah. It was crazy. So that was just the Victory because they had so many people. They also had the deck below, the gun deck, which I think is called the Orlop. And if I'm wrong, people are gonna hammer me in the comments. They also had like bunks and stuff below there, but this one's a bit too small. So I would imagine them being on the gun deck. Where they actually sleep. So this is a small ward type area. They would usually have an area of the ship designated for this kind of stuff that they'd be able to put a gigantic amount of cloth around for anybody that gets injured. Because you think about, you know, cannons and stuff, they blow limbs off, the splinters that come off of the ship.
Yeah.
You know, all of that kind of stuff would be pretty horrendous. So I wouldn't want to be in here, especially since that's next to the galley. It'd be pretty worrying.
It's the Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd type of thing, isn't it?
Fresh pies, crew. Fresh pies.
Fresh pies, yeah. So, again, this area, similar to the one above, just I ended up doing, you know, it's got a couple guns in it. So I couldn't really create cabins off of it. We've got a couple of places where they've got the canvases for everything. But then we get into a really cool room. I like this room. So this is where the captain would probably sit.
Ah, nice.
Which is the map room. So, and also the office's mess. You know, you can imagine them being here and sitting down and eating their bread and having their ale and looking at a map. And of course, we have toured that, which is clipped off. So yeah, it's always good. So they're obviously thinking about invading, perhaps, or giving it a raid. So yeah, I quite like this. I quite like this little area here where they've got everything, and this leads to that balcony, that walk around balcony that we saw earlier. Kind of goes all the way around here, and I really did base quite a lot of the build on this, just because I didn't want something where you couldn't walk around. I just didn't feel that would look very good.
Yeah.
So actually being able to do that just seems to make a lot of sense. And of course we've got the cage at the back as well, where I just shoved a skull in there, I think. Yeah, I did. Yeah, shoved a skeleton in that.
This is awesome, dude. It's
cool, isn't it? Right, let's continue. So you can go in either side, it doesn't really matter. So it all links up to the same place. Oh, I closed the door on you.
There you go.
Oops. I'll just lead to it. Oh, damn. Right, cool. So yeah, nice map room. I quite like it. It's quite cool. Right, let's continue on through the ships then. This is where it gets really difficult because I was trying to do some like interior stuff. There's actually only one side of the ship you can actually walk on. That's because of this stair here. You can't actually obviously get past it, so it's a bit of a pain that you can't walk down that way. But yeah, it shouldn't be too
Filled
bad.
with detail and compact.
Lots of detail, loads of detail. So of course we've got the cargo area, and we've got another one of these kind of little things, and decided to do it a little bit different and have it raised up. Again, having a look at the Victory, they had some of them were like this, where they'd be able to then drop their cargo into the hold, all their plunder and everything like that. Oh yeah, drum as well. Yeah, so this is actually a drum. It's not a cake. It looks like a cake over here, this player head, but it's a drum, of course, because they would have. And again, the amount of pictures that I took of HMS Victory was ridiculous, but they did have quite a lot of drums around. Try and get everybody into a rhythm, or I don't know. It's just things like that. I guess I don't know why they had drums. I guess it was just like a rhythm type thing, so that everybody's shooting stuff.
Well, it's like working in the job. You got your radio going. They got the bass drum.
Dum 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 dum. That'd be it, wouldn't it? This thing's quite interesting. I say this thing's quite interesting. It doesn't look very interesting. So this is I'm looking at my notes now, capstan. So this was just some, like, imagine one of those cog things that you can turn.
Yeah.
That you see in ships. So that would be able to pull guns. So this is where you don't really think. You think, oh, it's just to do it with the anchors. But no, you'd be able to pull the guns, around the ship as well using these, because guns were heavy as hell. So they actually Victory, I think, had one on either side of the deck, so they could actually do it. And some of them were linked up with the anchor system, some of them weren't. And we've got some ropes attached using the rails, because we ain't got nothing else.
So what, they'll stand like this and then just walk around and turn it?
Yeah, it's one of those. So then they would be able to, tie some rope to, say, one of the cannons, and then be able to pull that cannon towards you. So that's why they would have one on either side, but I ran out of space, so the idea is there.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. It's all the stuff that you don't know. Right, let's get into the front of the ship. So you won't be able to walk around that way at all. This is what I was saying. It's so tricky. Right, so the front of the ship. Obviously, we've got more guns. We've got that nice cargo area. I think it lets in a nice amount of natural light, actually. It's quite good. If we go to the front, this is where, as a normal crew member, you'd be squatting over here and letting it go, really. Again, drop one off. Not too bad, but, nice and simple. But, it'd work. And, yeah, detail-wise, there's this... This is just so dodged. It had like a big skull dude in the movie on the front of this, so this was my attempt to make that big skull dude with like a spear. I think he had a spear or something, so I went with end rods for that. That's different.
It works.
This I swear was the most difficult part of it, trying to make this look okay. But yeah, it works. It's not too bad. Now, one thing before we go back in is to note is the anchors, because we're going to be seeing where that system actually goes as well. So we've got the chains coming in, and then they're making their way down deck from here. So usually they'd probably on this be linked up with this deck. But the problem is it then creates a nightmare for the interior, real nightmare for the interior side of it. So that's why I dropped it down an entire deck just to make it kind of work. I think with a bigger ship, could probably do it on that. So let's drop in down here. So
wow.
We got some. Yeah, this is the hold. So that's the final layer of the ship. We've got lots of this gravelly stuff, which was used to weigh down the ship, because ships are surprisingly buoyant. It's incredible, really. So they had to actually weigh it down and to stop it from capsizing. And I can't remember what it's called. It's like, it's not ballast. It's it's got a word. Whoever's in the comments that can say it, then they'll get a cookie or something, I don't know. So got a lot of that. This is the system where we've got the chains tied up to. So I've actually got two versions of this, because of course the Queen Anne's Revenge in the movie had flamethrowers, so I did build a redstone system for this, but I thought actually for an interior the chains would work and look a lot better than redstone flashing constantly.
Yeah.
To kick out fire charges, but yeah, nice simple little thing. So this is the kind of thing that would have been upstairs, where you do the whole turning thing, where you walk around it and all that kind of stuff to pull it in. Nice and simple. And again, it wouldn't really be this low. It's just that running out of space, you got to do what you got to do. So what else have we got in here? Obviously, we've got lots of things like the water tanks, these big barrels, quad barrels together to make nice big water tanks, fresh water. We got something here which is the Bilge Pump. So again, lots of water would make its way into the ship, so you actually have to pump that out. The HMS Victory had 30 people that would be pumping water out of the bottom of the ship.
Well, that was their job, wasn't it?
That was their job. And you
Wow.
can imagine the pain that you'd go through in your arms for just doing that all day. Like, crikey. Just literally just pumping water up to another upper deck, and then obviously it would come out from there, but it's always coming in. Just think about all the little leaks that you'd have, everything really quite small, but otherwise the ship sinks. On this side, I've tried to make it look like we've got rope tied up, because they would have tons and tons of rope. It's surprising how much rope they'd actually have. So spare bits for the rigging up top of all the sails and all that kind of stuff. They'd have like spare bits of sail as well, so they can patch that up. All of that would get stored in the hold. Up here, quite an important thing. Not the cows. We'll talk about the cows in a second, because although they're important, gunpowder. So having a gunpowder store, of course, you wouldn't want that next to your cannons in case there's a fire. You want that kind of deep within the hold. But of course, at the same time, if this set on fire, bang, it's gone. It's like a bomb. It really that goes off. It's one kind of big area for that. We have got some fresh cows as they are moving around. So again, we're similar to the fresh chickens. They would have cows on the ship, as well as sheep and goats and pigs and whatever else, really, which you never think about on pirate ships. You never think that they'd actually have that, but it makes a lot of sense. You wouldn't just have a lot of... They did have a lot of salted pork and salted meats in barrels, but they would also need fresh stuff. So,
well, I
got some
never knew they
cows.
would have had things like that. I always thought it would have been like rice and grains and rum.
Yeah, I know.
And things like
And
that.
just rum. Just loads of rum, yeah. So let's go into the next section. So there we go, some fresh pigs that we need.
He's excited.
I know, they're all just jumping up. They're quite excited to see you, obviously. Yeah, I think that one likes you. We've also got behind here, from the movie, the Mermaid Tank.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so close to forgetting about this. I mean, so close. And I was like, oh, God, yeah, I got to remember that. So, yeah, luckily I did put in the Mermaid Tank. I mean, it's as basic as it can get, really. A couple fence gates and a couple bits of glass. I mean, that's it. Can't really do much else. Right. So, if you're bad, got some cells, because we always think about this. We always think, take them to the brig. So I was like, I can't resist putting some cells in at all.
Well,
So,
is that Bert?
That's Bert, yeah. He was the previous assistant manager before Gary.
Oof.
Didn't do a good job. So, yeah. He's in there. What else is around here? No, not too much. Right. So actually, let's go on the other side. There's a reason for that. Yeah, similar to the head player head thing, I've got another one in here as well that people have to try and find. So this is, as you can imagine, the treasure room. God, I love treasure. And also, actually, I forgot to say, this also links up the rudder as well. So that wheel, I actually did put the entire thing come down using fences all the way through to here, and then it actually does lead into the rudder as well. I decided to go that far into the detail-y side or mechanical side, even though it doesn't do anything. But this is the treasure room. I did have to get a spigot plug in to do the coral blocks so that they don't live out of water. So that's why I've got horn coral blocks. I know somebody's going to ask, how have you got the coral there? But it does look kind of like gold coins.
It does.
I know.
It's
So
awesome, dude.
yeah, so we've got obviously the plates, gold plates, which definitely aren't coral on these gold candle holders as well. They're definitely not coral blocks, you know.
No, you said you've done a tutorial, or you're doing a tutorial for this?
I've got a tutorial for the ship, just not for the interior. There's no way I can do the interior. It's driving me mad. But yeah, the entire ship you can just build empty. It's all there, and obviously people can now watch this to have a look at it. So that will definitely be in the description as well as the card. But yeah, nice gold room. I like it. I'm quite happy with this gold room. Now, this one's the one that people need to guess. So what item is this player head? People were really good with the Harry Potter one. I mean, really good. I shouldn't say the Harry Potter one, because people haven't watched that. People were really good with the Mages Guild one, and they guessed it pretty quickly. So what item is that player head? And that'll let me know that you got this far as well, guys. But that is it. That's it for the interior tour.
I'm loving it.
It's cool, isn't it? I like pirate ships, but it was fun. It was fun to do, actually. I'm quite glad that I did the interior, because it's feels a lot more full now. You know, it's kind of got all that detail and feels a bit more alive. So yeah. But anyway, man,
Awesome.
let's get out. Let's get out of here.
Yep, it's sinking. It's sinking. Quick.
Sinking, yeah. But I do think I actually needed to. There's some final details, isn't there? That I need to get. Oh, I've not got any. There we go.
No, that is
So
awesome,
really-
dude. Like
really
I've said to you before, like I love pirate ships. You know, like Pirates of the Caribbean is one of my favorites. The Goonies is another.
Yeah.
But wow, this is. I'm gonna do a time set. Night, is it?
Oh, I'd do P time. Do P time.
P time. So
Yeah, so you can do the exact same thing.
P time night. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah.
Let's have a look. There you go. Oh, actually, yeah, the lights do work quite nicely as well.
Right, screenshot
really
time.
nice.
Screenshot.
So, anyway, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this tour with me and Zyridius. If you haven't already subscribed to Zyridius, go and check him out in the card at the end of the video. Or not the card at the end of the video, the end screen, where I've got a button on there, or the description, up to you guys, whatever you want to click on. Click that link. Anyway, thanks again, man, for sharing this tour with me.
No, thank you for
And,
having me. It was a pleasure. This is absolutely amazing.
That's all right, cool. Anyway, guys, we'll see you on the next one.